It's so important to focus on what is your expertise. Welcome to Purposeful Podcasting. I'm Wendy.
And I'm Crystal. This podcast is meant to share how we and other entrepreneurs bring together purpose and passion to leverage profit in our businesses.
We are shining a light on adventure-loving, purpose-driven, action-minded, authentic, and rebellious entrepreneurs.
Just like us.
So join us as we talk about business and life and everything in between.
Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's podcast episode. My name is Crystal and I am here with Wendy, and I'm super excited to jump into this week's topic because I'm a marketing geek, and today we get to talk about my favorite first question when we talk to our own clients about their marketing strategy. Who's your ideal client? And then usually is followed up with, okay, can we niche down? And this podcast episode is not necessarily about ideal clients, but just to set the stage here, we'll refer probably to ICAs, so ideal client avatar, so your ideal person, who is it that we're marketing to, and why you should niche down. I love this topic because I think it's one of those things I love the Seth Godin quote, when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. It's like, we have no idea who you help and what you talk about. And so, people will say, I'm a business coach. I take care of everybody. Well, I mean, how? There's so many different people that you can help take care of. Like, what does that even mean? I think that everybody in online business tends to start very gradual. And as the years go by, hopefully you start getting more and more narrow and more focused and more set. But Wendy, why would you niche down?
Oh, well, okay. I think that most of us have an expertise in something that, especially when you're new, it is better to focus on what your expertise is. And generally, most of us are not generalists. Mm-hmm. We are not broad, paintbrush people. We're what is it? Jack of all trades, experts of none. How do I not remember what?
You're a jack of all trade, master of none.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. And I think that is the perfect explanation of right now what this is. If you are building a coaching practice, mm-hmm. business, you want to focus in, and hey, you want to avoid your own like imposter syndrome and all those other things that come along with growing a business. It's so important to focus on what is your expertise. And it could be, for coaching, it could be, you could niche down. You're a business coach and you're coming to business coaching after being C-suite executive. So maybe your specialty as a C-suite executive was motivating employees. That was your thing. Well, you could translate those skills as a coach and very narrowly focus on what it is that you're offering. I think about, my background was in meetings, and when I realized what I did was I created space for transformation to happen. Okay. As a travel advisor, my focus was, again, creating travel experiences that were the space for people to experience transformation. Well, mm-hmm. Similar thing right now in coaching. Right. And it is, it's like you're creating goals, you're achieving your goals by creating environments with which transformation can occur. So I think it's really important to niche down, especially since ultimately what we all want to do in our businesses is create profit so we can continue in business. And maybe I should just add that to say that when I'm talking, I'm not talking about the scale of the profit. Profit basically is you're taking your income and you're subtracting your expenses. Your income, and that income could be $1, and that's a profit, or it could be $1,000,000. That's a profit as well. That's another conversation and another story about where you want to make in the profit. But the bottom line is you need to make a profit. And I just think that having a really narrow niche, and what do they say? Niches is in the riches, or riches is in the niches, or something.
The riches are in the
Riches,
niches, but it's supposed to be
yeah.
niches. So I don't like that
Exactly.
one. Yeah.
It doesn't quite roll properly, but that's okay. And I think that's absolutely true. And I think that I'll just interject and step on what typically is more of your toes, is that
Mhm.
when you have a specific niche, it's also easier to target market your audience.
Mhm. Well, that's to me like the most important reason, right?
Yeah.
Because if we have a business, we have to have marketing. Sorry, you
Yes.
have to market your business. If you're not marketing your business, how are you getting clients? By the way, referrals and word of mouth are a form of marketing, guys. So like
Yes.
marketing is important. Okay. It doesn't matter how you do it. We have to market our business. If we don't know who we're marketing to, it's really hard to tailor that messaging. Okay. Our messaging ends up being too broad. And then the worst thing that can happen out of it is if you're not marketing to the right ideal person, then you are running the huge risk of attracting the wrong person and working with people you don't like. And that's not why we got into online business, right? When we coach or when we work with somebody like that, for us, we want to work with people we like. We want to work with people who have the same alignment of values. It's why we really don't shy away from sharing our values and sharing what we think about things, because frankly, as much it's like a magnet. If you have a magnet, two magnets together, if you're getting on the right polarizing side, it snaps together, you fit like glue. But if you are not a match, if you're not a fit, that magnet pushes and pushes. It's not a good relationship for anybody to be in, to be honest. And so, it's even more awkward to be on calls with people and realize they're not a good fit, and then having to turn down business along the way
Yep.
because yeah, I'd like to make the money, I'd like the income, but also I can't work with this person. And so that's why we niche down. That's why we really tailor our marketing so that we can have a fulfilling business and a fulfilling career and work with people we like.
And, I think that if you think about it, when you're talking about working with people that you like, and working with people that light your fire,
Mhm.
and that about things that you're passionate about, that you're good at, it makes you feel very light
Mhm.
and happy,
Mhm.
and doesn't take so much. The words dread does not come into the day. There's almost like a buoyancy that comes with, and that's just how you feel. And yeah, I just think it's so important. And what comes with this, I think, is also this increased confidence
Mhm.
that also I think is really important, because as you're developing a coaching practice, you are sometimes you're stumbling a little bit in terms of what works, what doesn't work. And being able to lean in from the beginning with your strengths
Mhm.
is, I think, it's just really important. It gives you, as I said, confidence. Also, hey, let's face it, if you're also looking at, your connecting with clients and having clients trust you, it's there. If they know that this is where you've succeeded,
Mhm.
these are your strengths, this is what your background is, and you've niched, and this is your focus, that's what people want as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody in a coaching relationship or in a coach client relationship, however it is that you want to describe it, we're looking for a good match, right?
Yes.
And you're not going to be a good match unless you get very, very specific on who that match is that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's interesting too, because on the flip side, we've talked to people who, actually we had a client who was male, and in all of our copy, it's very clear, like we really do market to women. And he says, but you picked me up. You picked me up. And I mean, he was a great client to work with. But he said, you picked me up because the messaging and the vibe, I just really resonated with you ladies and really loved, what it is that you were putting out there. And so that to say, those of you that are scared to niche down because we might lose clients, I ask people, is your ideal client this or that? Well, I mean, it's really this, but I would be okay taking care of that. Like in our case, it's women, but I'd be okay taking care of men. Well, guys, they will come still. And then you have the choice. Then you have the choice of, do I take this on or do I not?
And I think one of the things is that the feeling that I can't turn away a client is very much, I hate to say it, but a scarcity mindset.
Yeah, but let's break that down because I hate that too.
Okay, I know. And what am I saying? It's like if you in your mind you're like, I have to get business, and in order to do that, I have to put my stuff out there, and I need to take everyone as a client. And which means that immediately there's this mentality that says my my shit is not good enough with the niche that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the niche that I have, and what am I focused on?
Mm-hmm.
That it's just not, I don't feel maybe it's good enough, or that I'm going to attract enough people. Well, we talk about this a lot. If you have a solid game plan, a solid business plan, a solid where you've done research
Mm-hmm.
on who your ideal client is, on whether your niche is a profitable niche.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've done all the work ahead of time, then your mindset should be, you know what? I know there are people out there. I know that there are people out there who need what I'm offering.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I'm going to just, maybe it's trial and error, and that usually it falls under, how do I market myself?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I try, this strategy or that? But if you know that you have a solid idea, solid plan,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to, not jump into the, well, I have to be everything for everybody.
Yeah, you burn yourself out when you do that too.
Oh my gosh. And and what did Seth Godin say?
If you market to everyone, it would say if you
You
talk to
market to no
everyone,
one. You
you
talk to
talk
no
to
one.
no one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's true, because it is a matter of, again, really understanding, and to the burnout piece, sorry, now I'm stumbling. So it's really a matter of looking at, from a burnout piece, the reason you niche down is also to increase your expertise in that area. So it's not just enough that you're a relationship coach, so that you're a relationship coach. Okay. Are you a relationship coach to men or women? Are you a relationship coach to couples? Are you a relationship coach to people who are on second marriages or looking after the fact, to divorcees? There's just so many different ways to look at this, because all of those different groups of individuals are in different seasons and have a different problem set that you help solve. And if you tried to solve all of them, and there's a bit of a Venn diagram going around and there's a little bit of overlap here or there, but truly, if you're trying to solve all of the problems, how do you keep all of that afloat? Okay. And then if you are really digging into it, how are you getting referrals from all of those people? And so I think really, again, narrowing down and niching down gets you to just become such a known expert in this area. So if you're a
Yes.
relationship coach for divorced women who are in their 50s and they just recently got divorced, they're recent empty nesters. I mean, do you see how specific you get in here with like really
Yeah.
going down?
Yeah.
Your kids are out of the house, you're recently divorced, and now you're looking for a relationship. And how do you find that? And how do you navigate the pitfalls around that? And you're looking for somebody to help you navigate that space. Well, that's a very, very specific person that
Yes.
we're talking to versus I'm 25 and I've never been married and I'm looking to settle down, but not sure if it's the right time for. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
these are two very
Well,
different women.
and again, I think about, I look at marketing from the perspective of the end user. And if you're marketing one day to the 50-year-old woman and the next day to the 25-year-old, I'm getting whiplash.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, I don't know that I would sincerely consider you for that. And, also if your focus is communications, that may be very different than finance. Or,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many different ways of slicing and dicing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's so important for us as individuals to really focus in on our unique strengths, our unique experiences, our unique skills
Mm-hmm.
that really make us up, and I've said this a lot, and I stand by this, that also when people hire, there are very few instances where only one person can do a particular niche. Very rarely. And one I can't even think of. So really, ultimately, you want someone to solve the problem you have, but also you need to be able to connect with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to connect with a person who you're really getting into their uniqueness, the
Mm-hmm.
the strengths, the skills, the experiences. So to have someone talk about the fact that maybe they're 60 and at 50 they did get divorced, and what have been their travails for the past 10 years that led them to be super happy and super successful. And yeah, that is completely different than what a 25-year-old needs. Yeah.
Yeah. God, I
And
don't even know what a 25-year-old needs anymore.
no. And this isn't to say, I mean, you still need to conduct the market research. You
Mm-hmm.
still need to validate your niche. But again, I think there are very few niches where there aren't people, unless it's a rare breed of boa constrictor and you're looking, and you're looking, how do you, I don't know. It's just some really random, strange thing that you can't necessarily validate it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what would have to do with a boa constrictor, an
Mm-hmm.
owner who's got like 25 children. I don't know, something crazy. But
Yeah.
other than that, there's no reason why you don't validate and you can validate your niche. Yes, there are conversations to have. Does this particular niche, can it afford my services in the
Yes.
way, in the, under the business model that I'm looking? It's one thing if you know that there's a particular niche and they can't afford higher end, say one-on-one coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can afford a smaller, and maybe it's more relevant to do a group coaching. I mean, there's a lot of different options and variables that we could sink right now into a
Mm-hmm.
rabbit hole that we never come out of.
Oh, watch us.
I know, I know. But I think and unfortunately, we both have school pickups to deal
Yeah.
with. But yeah, I think it's really important to drill down as deep as you can get. I also think, was it Seth Godin who said you start with one person and you grow from there. I think it was. Yes.
That sounds about right. I'll
Yeah.
double check
And
that. Yeah.
and the thing is, when you're thinking about it, and you think about it in terms, what is your ideal client's problem?
Mm-hmm.
How do you solve it? Generally, those problems, if you're really looking to make money on solving the problem, you're looking for, think about a bleeding jugular, which is so
Mm-hmm.
graphically gross, but it's a problem that isn't at a superficial level. It's deep.
Mm-hmm.
It's deep. And you need to bring to the table the skills and the strengths and the experience to be able to do that. And the deeper you can get, I think the better off you are.
I agree. And I
Yeah.
think, well, I'm just going to end with this thing because you said it earlier, but I really want to reinforce it. From the consumer side, it makes it a no-brainer decision making. That's the thing
Mm-hmm.
that makes people line up and say, shut up and take my money, because you are clearly talking to me.
Yes.
You are clearly
Yes.
talking to me.
Yeah. I just thought of it today. I just thought of it just now. What did I purchase today? I purchased something that was a very low end sort of ticket offer on Facebook, but it talked to me because it was some sort of, it was an exercise thing, and I think it dealt with weak ankles. You can't get more specific than weak ankles. But
Yeah.
hey, guess what? That is an issue that I'm contending with right now.
That's so
And
funny.
I was, without thinking twice, was like, you know what? I have to have this. And now I have to do exercises for X number of minutes a day to
Oh,
strengthen my ankles.
can you
But
send that to me? That's so interesting. Sorry,
yes, I
that's such a
can.
thing.
Yeah. And it's, but you can't get more specific, I
Yeah.
think, than really drilling down. And she's an expert on strengthening ankles, which I'm forever grateful for. So.
Well, see, and that's the thing. We all are experts in something. So go forth and niche down and find that person that needs your expertise.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's a great way to end it. Thank you for joining us. We would love to hear what niches you operate in. And if you ever need help niching down, you know where you can find us to help you niche down
Oh,
and create your strategy to do that. Oh,
and to help with the validating of your niche, we currently have the Purposeful Profit Calculator on the market.
we do.
Another.
So we will put that link in the show notes. So if you're looking at, really knowing, because that is a good point, because yeah, you said it. If your ideal client, if your niche can't afford your services, or
It doesn't matter
afford
what
them in
you're
such a
doing.
way that helps you be profitable.
Yeah.
If your ideal client can only afford a $37 product, but you need to sell it at $100 to be profitable, there's a
Yep.
problem there. There's a problem.
Yep.
And it's good to figure that out using our calculator, which is only $7, then figure it out after investing thousands and thousands of dollars in coaching or in a group program that is not going to help you. So until next time, guys, we'll put that in the show notes, but you can also go to serendipitousrebel.com/profit calculator if you are not wanting to look into show notes. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a rating.
But only if you liked it. Otherwise, just keep it to yourself.
You can learn more about purposeful podcasting on our website at serendipitousrebel.com.
And if you have topics you'd like to hear about, be sure to submit them on our website or DM us on social media.